Okay, this is the very start of the again a practice playthrough of the basic game from Rivoli, 1797, Simtac, part of the Battles of the Peninsular War series. I'm going to give a really quick tactical introduction to what's going on here. First of all, this is a large part of the center of the map. This way is north, so that way is north. That way is north. Right here, this is actually almost dead center of the map. Of the map. This is almost dead center, and this is in the tiny village here of Ostere de la Juan, I think. Is Napoleon's army headquarters marker. Napoleon Bonaparte, Berthier, his chief of staff, and his guides. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is the the ADC. Yeah, that's the ADC. Okay. Here are the guides. Here are the guides of Napoleon. Right there. And yeah. Okay. So this, so these can all stack in the village there. Okay, so Napoleon stacked with his army headquarters, his ADC and his chief of staff and his guides. And for reference, as we go forward, this is actually dead center until he moves. So that's dead center, or almost dead center of the map. What do we have here? Very hilly. So several, I don't know what you call them, hilltops, I guess. Hilltops. This is a major hilltop down here, the Monte Magnone. At the bottom of the map, or the east and southeast, is the river, Fiume Adige or Adigio River. Down here, this is what you're looking at, is most of the French forces at start for the basic game again. So again, Napoleon's in the center with his army headquarters. All right, I'll go through, so this is the headquarters marker for Massena's first line. And I think these are, that's Massena there. And his troops here. Up here is Joubert's first line. And Joubert himself there with his troops here. This is Joubert's, let's see, back here and here. This is Joubert's second line, but the headquarters marker's not on the board at start. And back here, who's this? Back here is some cavalry. What is this? LaSalle, adjutant. See, so this is what is this? This is this is Leclerc's cavalry. Okay, so that's the cavalry, I guess division. And where? Oh, and their division marker is not on the board yet either. Okay, so that's basically the starting French forces, and the Austrians have two forces basically starting on the map. to the north. So this is the north side of the map. Again, the French forces are back down there that we already looked at. Here is Napoleon and almost center of the map. So up here we have Alvinci's army headquarters right there, but Alvinci is not on the map yet. So that's the Austrian army headquarters marker in the town of San Martino. Up here is the second column. So up here's the second column, and I don't think their headquarters marker is not on the map yet. And down here is the third column, and their headquarters marker is on the map right there. So this is the third column, ready to move. The third column here, ready to move. Second column here, but not ready to move because their headquarters marker isn't on the map yet. Down here we have the fifth column marker, but no forces on the map yet. And right off the screen down here is the sixth column marker, which is on the the east side of the river is the sixth column marker down here. No forces on the map yet. So let's get started. So the battle starts 7:15 in the morning on January 14th. I think for the first turn, first of all, the French are going to win the initiative automatically. And that's because Napoleon is stacked with his headquarters, and Alvinci is not stacked with his headquarters because Alvinci isn't even on the map yet. So the French are going to win the initiative automatically, and I'm going to figure out. Well, I'm going to start the turn going. Basically, I think the forward forces here. Joubert's first line is probably going to set a defensive line maybe here. And then Massena's first line is going to move up here and probably set a defensive line somewhere here. Because remember, right up there off the screen is the Austrian second column. And right off the screen, that direction, is the Austrian third column. So I think these lead French forces are going to come up and basically take advantage of this terrain here to set up some defensive positions. And then, Okay, so this is significant. I already talked about initiative. That's step one of the initiative phase. We know the French have the initiative. We go to step two. In step two, both players, and this is where some awkward translation threw me off before, but now I'm thinking that I got it right. So the awkward translation into English, I think, is meant to be this way. For step two of the initiative phase, both players, starting with the player who lost the initiative, so that's the Austrians, they may deploy a headquarters on the map, which is the same thing as taking a headquarters that's in reserve and basically taking it out of reserve and making it operational. Okay. And I was going to do that because I wanted to deploy the second column headquarters on the map and get it moving down here, right? But now it turns out that the army commander needs to be stacked with the army headquarters to take a headquarters out of reserve. Since Alvinci isn't on the map, I guess I cannot do that. So there isn't going to be any activation of a Austrian headquarters this turn because Alvinci isn't on the map yet. So that's that. Now we come to, so then we have the French option. Napoleon is stacked with his headquarters, so I could take a headquarters out of reserve. I could activate Joubert's second line back here, but I don't think I'm going to do that this turn. I think I'm just going to wait. And then there's Massena's second line which I don't think is, no, I don't think that's an option, but I think Leclerc back here, the cavalry, is in reserve and could be brought out of reserve, but I'm not going to do that yet either. So bottom line is I don't think the French are going to pull any headquarters out of reserve this turn. So then the side that won the initiative, the French side, then also gets to move, or attempt to move a headquarters unit. But I think that they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I think they're mostly in position. So I'm not going to try to move a headquarters either. So now we're going to go on to the operations phase. So I'm going to go ahead, or the French side has the initiative, so the French side is going to activate Vial's brigade of Joubert's first line. So these units can get into position and form a defensive line up here. Okay, so Vial's brigade moved up. The 4th Light Regiment over here stayed put. Now we have the situation where if the French player wants and has another brigade from the same division available to activate, the French player may do so now. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Under Joubert's first line here, I'm going to go right into activating Sandos's brigade here with the division artillery and reposition them. So Sandos's units moved up, and just note that Sandos's brigade are adjacent at the end of the movement, and Vial's basically demi brigade also ended adjacent to each other. So the 4th Light and the 17th Light, although part of Vial's brigade, can operate as demi-brigades, half-brigades. Now it's the Austrian option to, well, not option, sorry, it's mandatory. Now the Austrians must activate a brigade. They are going to activate this brigade from the 3rd column, but just to note, units in reserve, the brigades are still activated, but they cannot move or attack, but they may fire normally. So first, the 3rd column is going to move up a bit, probably just move forward to occupy the town here, and move up, well, start with the lead brigade just moving up here, occupying the town. The brigade moved forward, occupied the village of Lubiara. Now the French player activates Leblay's brigade from Massena's first line division, or first line of Massena's division. So Leblay's brigade with the division artillery and Massena leader started moving north, northwest towards the high ground here. So all brigades have to be activated, so notionally we would go back and forth, but the Austrians can't do anything more. Oh wait, actually they do have one more brigade to activate. The French are not going to do anything more, so I will take care of the 2nd brigade from the 3rd column, and then we'll end this first turn. Okay, Seo's brigade and division assets and the 3rd column leader all moved forward. So this turn, the 7:30 turn, is going to be similar to the first turn, or the first turn, last turn, except that the French side with the initiative is going to try to move Joubert's first line headquarters north, forward, to facilitate this defensive line that Joubert is trying to establish here. And, or I should say before that, Napoleon here in the center is going to try to well, I don't think it's try. Napoleon is going to pull Leclerc out of reserve so that the cavalry here can start heading this way, up here, basically northwest, up here, to cover the French army's western flank. All right, just another look at what I'm talking about, what I just said. Massena is again heading up here to establish a defensive line here. Here's Napoleon in the center. Leclerc is down here off the screen. This flank is what I'm talking about. This whole western flank is open, and the French side knows that Austrians are probably coming this way because of the first column marker here. Now, very importantly, in a two-player game, this one I believe would be marked secretly and would not be on the map. So this would not be known by the French side. But, you know, for this learning game, the Austrians are coming this way, and this flank is completely open. So that's why Napoleon is going to send Leclerc and his cavalry up here to cover this flank. So this is Leclerc's very nice, very colorful division headquarters. Headquarters marker. Yikes. Unbelievable. There. This is Leclerc's division headquarters marker. And because Napoleon is stacked with his army headquarters, this can basically be set anywhere on the map. It's not exactly there. There is roughly there's a 15 hex radius from Napoleon, but that's extended. It's extended another 10 hexes because actually, I think it's extended. Okay, so here's the French army headquarters. Napoleon's got a 15 hex radius. Berthier is a staff officer, adds another 10 hexes, and Junot as an ADC adds another 10. So at 35 hexes, that's in effect the entire battlefield. Okay, so with all that, Leclerc's division marker, I think it just gets set. So here's Leclerc's forces. I guess it gets set something like that. I mean, I think that this is a legal placement. So I'm going with that, and then Leclerc can start moving. Okay, scratch what I just said. Scratch all of that. The deploying a division headquarters marker on the map can be anywhere on the map. The radius that I was talking about from Napoleon extended for Berthier and extended again for his ADC, that radius is for moving an already deployed headquarters. So that applies to Joubert's first line headquarters here, which is just barely inside the base 15 radius anyways, but then extended another 10 and then 20, as I explained before. So That radius is for moving an already deployed headquarters. Okay, in this case, to move Joubert's first line, I think the only thing I'm doing is I'm looking at the chief, commander-in-chief, Bonaparte, and I'm looking at his box 9 in the center there. And I'm okay. Just knocked out the Austrian second column with my die roll, but so the die roll of 2 did not exceed Napoleon's 9, so the French side can move the headquarters marker. Yep. So back to the French right. Joubert's first line moved his forces up, keeping brigade integrity, trying to get the artillery up to the front here so that they can unlimber. Already I'm noticing again how difficult it is in this terrain to, well, basically position your artillery to get good effect from the artillery units. So on the Austrian side, the third column here, as much as I would like to advance up and get into combat, these units cannot move more than 6 hexes from the headquarters marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're not advancing beyond this line anyways. I think light units, cavalry units, and units commanded by French Commander Massena add 2 to that 6 hex limit. So it's either 6 or 8 hexes, but for the Austrians here, I think it's a limit of 6. So they're not moving more than 6 hexes from the column marker here, and I don't think the column marker can move until Alvinci is on the board, which is not for another half hour. So doesn't seem to be and doesn't seem to be any reason for the Austrians to go down into this lower ground here when they just have to go back up again to get to the French over there. So basically it seems like it's going to be a narrow attack across this elevation here, with the steep slope on the one side, the east flank, and the slope down and the lower ground to the western flank. So anyways, from the Austrian perspective, looking back to Joubert's first line there. Okay, back to Leclerc and his cavalry. We deployed the division marker there. So as cavalry, they cannot go beyond 8 hexes from the division marker, which means that they'll be able to get way up here. Basically, Leclerc, as a cavalry division commander here, has Lasalle's regiment, brigade, in game terms, brigade. Brigade. So here's one of Lasalle's units. Look at that great graphic. The coat there. Thanks. There. The nice graphic. Oh, so these are light cavalry. Huh. 22nd Regiment of Chasseurs. Jeez. All right, the perspective from the French left. Leclerc and Lasalle's brigade with divisional horse artillery in trail heading northwest, approaching the tiny village of Pignot. They're along the track there. Technically, that is a trail. Trail, track, and high road. So high road, track, trail. So they're following the trail up there to cover the flank of the French forces there, French army. So again, here's the center of the French army, Napoleon with his headquarters. And this is the French center. This is Massena's first line. So his force has continued to move up to deploy on this high ground. The Austrian second column is just beyond this ridge. Down there, just on the north side of the Tasso River. So we're on to the next turn, 7:45. French automatically get initiative. Napoleon makes a roll. Well, first of all, the French are not going to deploy any headquarters from reserve. So then Napoleon gets to roll to move at the already deployed headquarters. He rolls a 6, which is equal to or less than his 9 rating, whatever it's called. It's called the command value to move Leclerc's division headquarters. And so he's going to move it forward to the village of Pignot because Leclerc will probably deploy in this clear terrain here. So as I'm moving my forces around here, I just noticed some details that I might as well point out. These single trees in a hex, I made what I think now is a faulty assumption that they were just decorative, that if there was one tree figure in a hex, it was decorative. But actually, it seems pretty clear now that one tree in a hex is a grove. So definitely got that wrong. I looked into this in more detail because I wanted to figure out what a woods actually is. Is a woods actually defined more specifically? And to tell you right away, I have not found a specific definition. So just using the pictures, I'm assuming that two or more, and again, this is not 100% clear, but this I think is a woods hex. But I think this is also a woods hex, I think. These are obviously grove hexes. So this would be woods, 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 woods. What? Yeah, woods. Okay. But that would be a grove. Yeah. And this is the thick hedge. And I've been off the camera this whole time. Okay. And back up again. So this is thick hedge. Right there. This would be a grove because there's the one tree. Grove. Grove. Grove with thick hedge. Oh, there's a thick hedge there too. I really do like this terrain detail, but got to pay close attention. Okay. Try to get this again. Yeah, here. This is what I was talking about before. Woods, 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 but grove, and there. Grove and thick hedge on two hex sides. So yeah, Got to pay attention to woods. Woods as opposed to grove, as opposed to cultivated, and thick hedge. So I didn't even talk about the cultivated. So this hex is cultivated. Wow, that's hard because that's split. I don't know. I guess I'll consider that when I get there. But that is certainly cultivated. Yeah. So Massena's 29th Demi Regiment with artillery. Form a line there. The 85th Demi Regiment back here with Massena himself. All right, in a second line back here. Leclerc and division assets with Lasalle's brigade move up, but stay out of the village there.